Monday, and it's time to talk technology. Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, on the line with us once again. Good morning, Luis.
Good morning, Mark. How are you?
Doing really well. Today, we're going to talk about the Naval Postgraduate School and some of the things that they're doing here on the peninsula besides educating naval officers. And if you want to learn more about them, they are at nps.edu. And Luis, I heard something interesting once from one of the execs over there at the Navy school, and they felt that for their interaction to the community and for also getting people to pay attention to what they're doing online, for them, it was really important to have a .edu extension instead of .mil, which most military institutions have. And they are one of the only ones that has a .edu, which is different.
It's very different. It speaks to what they're trying to do because they are largely an educational and research facility. Right now, they do master's and doctorate programs, so postgraduate work. But in the past, they've done four-year degrees for enlisted people, senior enlisteds, and they're actually thinking about doing the same thing again, seeing if they can get the funding for that. But this is an operation in the middle of Monterey on the peninsula that has a budget of over $200 million and contributes, when you add in all of the other things, almost $1 billion in economic impact.
You know something, that when they were talking about the BRAC over 20 years ago, closing bases, and both the DLI and the NPS were on the list, we're lucky that we only lost Fort Ord, because while that had somewhat of an economic impact on the area, if you lost the Navy school and the DLI, and think about all the staff members there, the teachers that earn six-figure salaries and spend those monies in the community, it would have really been devastating to the Monterey Peninsula economy to lose both of those schools, whereas Fort Ord, and this is nothing against the enlisted, but those guys make very little money, and a lot of the money that the enlisted spent, they spent in the PX there on the post, and a lot of their money was spent on post where they got discounts. They didn't spend as much in the communities as what these folks spend from the Navy school and the DLI.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Huge economic impact.
The good news is that for the time being, at least, based on what the current president, Anne Rondeau, talked about at a meeting that I recently attended, it looks like the Navy and Congress has no appetite for doing any sort of base closures at this point. So the school is pretty safe. They have a very robust foreign student program, which helps a lot. So a lot of officers from NATO countries in particular come to the school, attend the school, and then they go back to their countries and can talk about how great the United States is, especially having spent so much time in Monterey. One of the interesting things about NPS that most people don't know is that they do a lot of real, practical, real-world research, some of it with businesses in the local area. They have a lot of folks that they develop some intellectual property with. There's a big company called Plantier. It's a multi-billion-dollar company that actually started at NPS, and they've moved on to become one of the largest technology companies in the world. Down in Camp Roberts, they have a testing facility that's available to industry for all sorts of things. They do drone tests out there, robot tests, developing commercial products, and all of those things are being done in conjunction with NPS. So it's not just a place where soldiers, sailor, airmen, and Marines come to go to school. It's actually a practical benefit to our community as a whole, especially with technology.
Yeah, well, we have to do a longer segment about the Navy school sometime, all right?
Sounds good.
Okay, Luis Alvarez, CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, joining us this morning on Power Talk Radio. You can get in touch with them by going online to alvareztg.com, @AlvarezTG, the Twitter handle. Luis, the toll-free number for the I-Team.
Give us a call at 866-78-I-Team. That's 866-784-8326.